See, Red Nation, what's good? We in the playoffs, baby. Woo! I am going to give you 3 keys to a Chicago Bulls Game 1 victory, and it starts right now. Now, if you are new to the channel, please like the video. Please subscribe to the page because we do talk Chicago sports daily on this channel. It's the only channel that's talking Chicago sports, how Chicago talks. So make sure that you get in tune with us, man, because the Bulls are in the playoffs, and that's all that you need to know. So I got to get hype on this one. I ain't going to lie to you. I'm real excited right now. But listen, it's an uphill battle. You're going up against the NBA champions. So I'm going to give you 3 keys to a Chicago Bulls victory. Key number 1. Key number 1 for me. First things first. I eat your brains. I'm just playing. First things first. The Bulls have to find a way to get Vooch involved. That does not mean Vooch go down low and all of a sudden be dominant and all of a sudden be down there back to the basket trying to go up versus Giannis, Bobby Portis, and Brook Lopez. That's not a recipe for success. What I mean by that is get the ball down to him. They're going to concede the 3 ball to you. You have to use Vooch as the facilitator for this team. Unfortunately, we don't come into the playoffs with Lonzo Ball in there at our point guard position, right? And the offense sometimes can get a little bit stagnant. Vooch is going to be the key to that because Vooch is such a willing passer. If you get yourself out on the run and you can get the ball to Vooch as he's cutting down low, guess what? There's times where he might go back to the basket, go for the layup, go for that little baby hook that he does so well. But you know what he might do? And what he often does is, hey, I'm going to find this guy out on the corner, kicked out. He should be ready to take this shot. Please knock that shot down. And he has to knock that shot down. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so much that Vooch does for this team. And I know there's a lot of people that are coming in here and they don't like Vooch as a big man. They don't like what Vooch brings to the game. They say he gets outworked. Listen. You have to put these guys in a position to be successful. If Vooch is going to be in a position to be successful, that starts with him, of course, having the opportunity to be down low, having the opportunity to move the ball. But as they collapse onto him, which they often do, him being able to kick the ball out to the open shooter and that shooter being able to make that shot. Which brings me to key number 2. Key number 2 for this Bulls team. You got to knock down your shots. The last game versus the Milwaukee Bucks, I never felt like we were just getting our heads kicked in. I know that's crazy, right? Seeing as how it was a blowout, but what I felt like was the Bulls were playing good defense on one end. The Bulls were working really hard on one end, and on the other end, they were getting a ton of open looks, and they could not knock down a single shot. Why? What are the Bucks doing? The Bucks like to pack the paint. They got those big bodies. Guess what? They don't want to give DeMar DeRozan the best opportunity. They don't want to give Zach LaVine driving opportunities. They don't want to give Nikola Vucevic opportunities underneath the paint. There's going to be a couple of key players that come into play here. Listen, Zach LaVine, you have to be knocking down that 3 ball. I want to see him on the wing. I really want to see him with those shots because he's a player, right? Like, as they're collapsing in, you start everything inside and you work it back out. Like I said, Vooch moving the ball around. If you work that ball back out, all of a sudden Zach LaVine has that ball in his hand. He's a proficient 3-point shooter. He shot the ball 38% from the 3-point line this year. I want the ball in your hands making big shots for this team in game 1. If you do that, all of a sudden it changes up the defense, but it can't just be Zach LaVine, right? Because what do? Hey, Chris Middleton's going to be shadowing him. Drew Holiday's going to be shadowing him. Whatever we needed to do, you have to move that ball around, and we need other guys to be able to knock down shots. We saw you knock down 3-point shots in that game versus the Timberwolves, P. Will. That game didn't mean much for us. Can you do it in this game? I think P. Will's going to be key to that. Just playing on that wing, kind of giving Vooch as much space as possible down there. Catch that ball on the corner, pull up 3. I need that to be cash money. Kobe White, we haven't seen you for 2 months, brother. You show up for one game versus the Charlotte Hornets, a game in which we get our heads kicked in that one, but you shot the ball really well. 6 for 9 from the 3-point line in that game. We need you to replicate that performance. I need that from this Bulls team. Knocking down that 3 ball is going to be so key to what the Bulls want to do versus this Milwaukee Bucks team that it's going to change the way. And you have to do it here in game 1, right? Because if you do it here in game 1, it'll change the way they play you for the rest of the series. They want to pack the paint. You come out and you shoot a high percentage from the 3-point line. Guess what they're not going to do in game 2? Pack the paint. All of a sudden, now you start to see DeMar DeRozan getting those open looks, a little pump fake step through lay. That move he does so well. Now all of a sudden that move starts to come through crispy every single time. You know what I'm saying? Because why? There's not 3 dudes that are almost 7 feet tall standing down there looking to take that shot away from you, right? And even if they are, this is about the situation, knocking down your shots in the situation. I need Ayo Dosunmu on that. And I think this, right? You want to get that ball movement going. You want to keep it cutting. It's still about knocking down shots, but you know what? You want to get Brook Lopez out of the paint as well. Hey, Vucci, we need you to knock down some shots. It's not just on you kicking it out. We need that good rotation. I need P. Will cutting down. Everybody's sliding in to slow him down. DeMar DeRozan coming through the middle, kick it out. Vucci's outside. Now, if he starts knocking down the 3 ball, now Brook Lopez can't just sit in the paint and wait for you to come down it. If you knock down your shots, it changes the way that we talk about this defense going through the rest of the playoffs. And it's going to be the biggest key to the Bulls because they're going to give them to you. You saw in the last couple of games the Bulls played versus the Bucks. They were like, shoot them. We'll see what you do. Show us that you can beat us with the 3 ball. You have to knock down that shot. We've got good shooters on this team, but they haven't been nearly as good coming down the stretch here. And so now we need to turn that back on. Now, before I continue with the video and get the key number 3, I want to know how you guys feel, man. What are your keys to a Bulls victory? Let me know in the comments below. And I know y'all finna come through with the beans, rice, Jesus Christ, and Byron is the key. That's a pretty good key, by the way. Beans, rice, Jesus Christ, and Byron is the key. Give me your real keys to a Bulls victory. I want real Bulls fans in this mug. Let me know what we got to do to get this job done versus the Milwaukee Bucks, man. I'll be down there talking with you as well. Key number 3. Key number 3 to a Chicago Bulls victory in game 1 here. You gotta have your stars starting off on the defensive end, right? Think back to when the Chicago Bulls were really, really cooking. The defensive end of the ball. And not just Alex Caruso, not just Patrick Williams, not just Lonzo Ball, but when you saw DeMar DeRozan with active hands in the passing lanes, when you saw Zach LaVine getting in there and smacking the ball away, this team went to a different level. This team's defense went to a different level because your stars were leading the ship. Listen, I know P. Will can play defense. I know that Alex Caruso can play defense. I know that Ayo Dosunmu can play defense. But when you've got DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine getting in on that defensive battle, being able to rake those balls away, playing in those passing lanes, it inspires them. And now the guys that you have, right? Say Zach LaVine gets a steal, DeMar DeRozan takes off. Now you're talking about DeMar DeRozan on a break, probably with P. Will. You're talking about a 2-on-1 break. That's how you get these easy buckets. The Bulls were proficient at the beginning of the season with getting easy buckets, being a great fast break team, getting a ton of fast break points and putting defenses on their heels. We haven't seen that much in the second half of the season. I need to see the Bulls putting this Bucks defense on its heels, because if you get them in a half-court set too much, they will be able to absolutely tear you apart. I don't care how good we are. I don't care if we make shots. I don't care if we move things around. This is a great defensive team. That is Giannis Antetokounmpo down in that paint waiting for you to get down there, right? So you have to find a way to impact the game when they're on their back foot. When is that going to be? That's going to be if they make a bad pass and you get your hand in the passing lane and take off. And when we saw Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan doing it, it inspired the others to take it to that next level. When we saw the best defense versus the Milwaukee Bucks, who's got the key steal that you remember? Who's got some of those key defensive plays that you remember? It's not Alex Caruso, it's DeMar DeRozan, because Alex Caruso had gotten hurt at that point and he was just trying to stay in the game. DeMar DeRozan led the way for that game defensively, right? And it's one of the few games that we can say he did that. But I feel like if you get those guys going defensively, it's going to transition down to the rest of the team. And this team is built for defense. I know we're putting up huge numbers at the beginning of the season, shooting it crazy. This team is built for defense. There's 4 scorers on the team. There's Vooch, DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, and Kobe White. Those are your 4 offensive players on this team. If you look at the rest of the roster, there's not much else. This team was built for length. This team was built for playing the passing lanes, and you need to find your identity in this game 1 right now. If you can change things on the defensive end, not to say that it's going to completely stop what they do. It's still Giannis. It's still Drew Holiday. They are the NBA champions. They're very tough. It's not going to say that it's going to stop everything that they do, but those fast break points, getting them on their heels, getting them running in the other direction, and now all of a sudden you've got the momentum on your side. That's going to do a lot for getting this team ready to go defensively for those half-court sets. And of course, CMP Will on Giannis. Who's not excited about that? Come on, let's get it in, man. Let's go. As always, man, I want to know how you guys feel, man. Let me know in the comments below. I'll be down there talking with you as well. You see, I got the Bulls glasses on. Yeah, I'm saying, where's the logo? Got the Bulls. I don't know if it's not gonna don't worry about it. Yeah, y'all seen the little Zenny commercial, man. Got the Bulls glasses on, man. I'm wearing the Bulls glasses all playoffs long. Y'all know how we doing it, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us. As always, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, and I want to know how you guys feel, man. Let me know in the comments below. I'll be down there talking with you as well. What are your keys to a Chicago Bulls victory? As always, man, it's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Peace.